Oh, my bad. I was checking my fit. This Anunnaki CEO collab I did with Afroletics. So if you haven't already, press the subscribe button for American New Networks, and also download American New Network app, our television network. And also we distribute fast channels, so we distribute other television networks as well. What's happening?
What's good, Dame? So, what's your take on the press conference and everything that's going on still with Jay?
I was gonna get right into that, huh? Okay. Um, so, I saw that they did a little press conference, and again, it's new, so and it's in the algorithm. It's every day, all day, so it's hard not to pay any attention to it, which is, a point that I want to make in a second. But like again, I've been accused several times and been vindicated each and every time of SA, and I've been through the process. Again, I'll give a very short statement, then I do an interview, and because, again, I really personally don't feel that I know I'm not gonna lie. I know I'm not gonna not tell the truth. If I forget something, I forget, that's not intentional, but I know that for me, I just think in this day and age, it's better to talk directly to the people that care, to have an opinion. It's like, yo, I will come out, I'll say what I gotta say, and I will give you the opportunity to ask me questions. And that's always been the difference between me and most people, is that I like to confront the elephant in the room. I don't like to act like things are okay when they're not okay. And I'm so into, like, for me, being truthful, whether it's uncomfortable or not. I still like to deal with whatever issues in front of me, pause. And the problem with me is just things don't embarrass me. So I don't mind discussing things that make most people uncomfortable. But I do have that discussion, and I give people the opportunity to ask me questions. But what I didn't do, I'm not throwing a press conference. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, that was a lot to me. And like, for me, this is coming from people that usually don't do so much, you know? And what it looked like to me was somewhat of like a public trial. Like, that was almost them presenting their case to whatever jury gets picked, you know? And what it was a response to was, I guess the Tony Busby lawyer, and I hope I said his name right, I guess made a choice to put the alleged victim and to do an interview. And, what I heard was that there were some things that were wrong that she knows that she might have gotten mixed up. And I'm like, why would he put her, knowing she's going to say that? Like, because they don't have to do that. She didn't have to do an interview. So I'm like, why would they have her do that? And then I also heard her say she was autistic. So I'm like, okay. So, and again, what you have to realize, especially when you're dealing with really active lawyers, that going to court is just a game of chess. It's all chess. And, if you ask my girl, she'd be like, sometimes it bugs her out that I actually enjoy going to court because of how strategic. Like, you have to, like with every action, there's a reaction. So I can't imagine that they didn't think that this girl coming out and saying the things that were inaccurate or problematic, saying them not knowing that they were going to react a certain way because it was on purpose. So I'm like, wow, they playing. And if you remember last week, I was like, these are two lawyers that, seem to have some strong personalities. So they're going to be banging it out. But the difference here, right, is, and I've been against, like I've gone directly at the lawyer because like a lot of the like for example like the lawyers that represent because one lawyer represents both of my baby mothers, Rachel and Cindy. And to me, that's a conflict, and that's how I would get jammed up because they would be playing. So I would get at the lawyer because I was like, you're taking advantage of these women. And, for you to get paid, you're making like a divide amongst my family just so you could get paid, and it's not right. And to this day, I've never been able to get in front of like a judge and be like, yo, this is all right that this dude Donnell represents both my baby mothers and also, allegedly was giving business advice on how, like telling Rachel not to pay the child support. And, that's another thing. I'm getting off the subject a little, but it gets back on me. Y'all got to stop saying I didn't pay my child support. That's not what happened. What happened was I gave Rachel the power to pay my child support when the money came into the company, Rachel Roy. She did not pay my child support. And I was still found accountable for that. So I didn't know the child support wasn't getting paid. Because again, I did it and set it up in court where when the money would come in from Rachel Roy, which is a $100 million company that no one speaks about, that money would first go to both of my baby mothers, their child support, and whatever judgment I had, and then I would get what was left. And from what I saw, that lawyer Donnell advised her not to pay it. And from that, they said I didn't pay my child support, and it went all downhill from there. I didn't even know, but that's another story. But that was why I went at that lawyer. Like I would go at him. And then, again, I literally went through 4 trials in the last couple of years. 4 trials, full trials, for people accusing me of lies, like straight lies. And then like, to me, alleged conspiracies, like one lawyer and this other dude, it allegedly, to me, seems like he called a bunch of people, and I feel like they still do that, and say, if you have a problem with Dame, we will fund your lawsuit. And then also we might need you to be on this lawsuit to be a witness or, someone to testify, because that's what happened with me, allegedly. Again, I don't want to get sued. I don't want to hear it because I'm sick of going to court. I have another lawsuit, by the way, for $4 million right now with these same people that didn't get any money for this Reasonable Doubt auction for an interview I did with Earn Your Leisure where I didn't say their name. But, we'll deal with that one in court. No one says anything. But my point is, in that situation, I was definitely, like, I know you might have saw that deposition where I was getting at this dude, Chris Brown. And I was called, and I was mad because, it's a long story, but the bottom line is the lawsuit was made in, whatever I did, the movie was shot in LA, but they did the lawsuit in New York. I couldn't get the witnesses to New York, and the depositions, they scheduled everything in New York, and I had a warrant because of the child support, so I couldn't come in to do the depositions. But if I didn't come in to do the depositions, then the case would have got dismissed, or I would have got a default, and he knew that. So when I came in, I already paid the child support, but it was in 2 courts. So when I came in, allegedly, it seemed like he called one of them to tell the one court that I was in another court so I would get arrested. He didn't think I would have the money to pay the child support, but I did. So I ended up in the deposition the very next day with the same person that in my mind had called the police to get me arrested because he thought that I didn't have the money. He like really, really, truly tried to get me arrested. So I had disgust and contempt for this person. And again, and then mysteriously, this deposition ends up on TMZ. And he is the only one that had access to the deposition. And that kind of got the judge tight and blah, blah, blah. But that was my resentment toward that person. But what happens when you get mad and you start messing with a lawyer? Okay, so every time the other dude, what's his name, the lawyer for Jay, speaks for Jay, Jay got to pay that guy. But when you mess with a lawyer, now he's doing it on his own. It's like, how you might, if you had to pay a rapper every time you had to respond to something, but then you going up against the rapper that just writes very well, he has to pay nobody. He's just going to get on your head the whole day. So it's going to definitely be very costly to keep going back and forth. So sometimes, to me, it's not the best to get directly at the lawyer because he does this for a living. He can hit you with a lawsuit all day long, every day, all day. He's not charging himself by the hour. And he's probably looking at how much bread he could make potentially. So anyway, when I saw the press conference, it was like doing to me court for public opinion. And I'm like, for me, I'm like, so I'm wondering why this dude did that, but then I'm saying he must have did it for a reaction. He had to, or, or something. There had to be something strategic there. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm not saying I think homie did it or not. I'm just looking at the chess moves. And that's all I've been interested in is like with the bigger picture, like what's really going on here? Because they're making a big deal over one case that could just play itself out in court. Like there is got to be a bigger picture because they're going so hard. So again, I'm shocked because I don't see homeboy ever respond so much. I don't see him explain himself. I don't ever see him do this. Ever. Not even in the form of having his lawyer do this. Because he himself doesn't speak. So I'm like, all right, there is a response. And then within, the press conference, he said that him and Puff wasn't friends. And I was like, now that might have been a big mistake. Whether they're friends or not, Puff is always portrayed that they are, and the pictures make it look like they are. So now that's going to put distrust into everyone that might have trusted you before. Now, I got personal experience with that lawyer. And from my personal experience with the lawyer, he lied a lot. So you got to remember, they charged me with trying to sell the whole reasonable doubt, and that was a lie. And the whole purpose of that was to go illegally change bylaws. And I'm at the meeting where the Shapiro dude is saying that he's there for Jay-Z, and they're saying that he's the CEO, and they're changing bylaws to say I can't sell my interest unless everybody agrees. And that was the only purpose of that lawsuit, to buy time so I couldn't sell it. So I don't care what anybody says. I'm never going to believe that guy, ever. So I don't know that he might be the best person to be speaking for homeboy on his behalf. But when he said that, I was like, now he really fucked up anyone that trusted him because, it's a gray area there. I mean, for the last 10 years, it's hard to say that. And then I was curious how Puff was going to feel about that, But then at the end of the day, I was like, to be honest, I haven't heard Jay say a word. I have not heard his voice. I've heard statements and, people from when I statements, usually a lawyer writes them and you approve them. That'd be my process. You know what I mean? And then I'll say what I want to say and then, I'll add what I want to add, but it's usually a collective effort there. But I think because of the way this dude might have put a distrust, because, everybody's like, you can't say they wasn't friends on any level, unless Puff's been lying unless they've been lying the whole time about making themselves look like friends, which would be a lie there, then, I wouldn't have did that one. So I'm like, I think now homeboy I think he might have to speak on his own. I think we might have to hear his voice. I was doing an interview yesterday with, who are those people we did the interview with? Art of Dialogue. And the dude asked me a lot of questions about Rockefeller and Jay-Z. And I'm like, as I'm answering the question, because I don't mind answering questions. I don't care. You ask me a question, I'll answer it. But I'm like, damn, I have to feel funny about answering questions about my past with Jay just because of this bum-bot narrative that I'm always talking about homeboy, even though I'm the only person that was ever truly his partner. And I'm like, why y'all always just ask me? But honestly, it's like he wasn't like trying to be offensive or anything. I wasn't even offended by it. He genuinely had questions that he wanted to know. But I don't think it's fair that people only hear my side. I don't want to be the only person, and I think the history is rich, and people do want to hear about certain things. I don't think it's unfair for someone to ask me questions about Rockefeller because it was a very interesting time, and there are things that I know and saw that nobody else can say. And I'm a person that doesn't mind speaking, never have. you know. And in this moment, I'm promoting America New. So if there's any attention leveraged on me for anything, I'm taking that to bring in awareness to America New. I mean, like, you know, I'm hustling. Why wouldn't I? That's called motion. Pause. You know. So I just was like, I just feel like I personally wish this dude would do an interview so he can answer all questions. At least if so they can hear whatever I'm saying. At least it could be equally sided. You know what I mean? Because I don't be lying really. I might misremember things because it's been 30 years. I smoke and drink, even though I want to say that I haven't drank in a week and a half. You know, and I don't know. I think it's a big deal to be able to just. And I'm not an alcoholic or nothing. It's just that while I was writing and then we were partying and going out, I was socially drinking, but my life became very social for like 2 weeks straight. And my body felt terrible, and I'm too old, and my body was like, yo, and I got sick and all that. And, you know, I was like, I'm gonna take a December off, you know, and I don't miss it or anything. I wish I could do that with weed. It's hard. But anyway, so I was saying, yeah, I just feel like, you know, like it might not be a good time to have people speaking for Homeboy because they might miss. Because I can't imagine that he told him to say that or like that direct. Like I could see a conversation like, yo, why you say I don't know him? That sounds crazy. And I'd be like, you got to say that. Like, what else you going to say? Like, you know, that. But, you know, again, I don't see the strategy. If that was strategy, I don't think that was the right strategy. But as a fan, and people that are curious, because a lot of people are talking about it, I believe that like if somebody could really ask him the tough questions, and if he's in an environment that he can't control, and people get to really ask him questions, and that transparency, I think, would make his public perception a little better right now. Because right now it ain't about the courts at all. This is all to me about the public. And I never again seen Homeboy care so much about how the public perceives him. I've never seen the public turn on him ever in life. I never thought it could happen. I never thought that it would open so many doors, pause, because now I'm seeing a lot of other shit, you know? And then I'm also wondering, is it like, did they just do this first lawsuit as the jab to open up the doors? Because it just seems like there's a lot of pores, holes, and if, you know, you have to put your finger in every hole, and shit start leaking, you know? But there's a lot of questions. And it's hard not to be curious. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's my opinion objectively, is I don't want to hear from that lawyer. I would prefer to hear it from Homeboy. And as of yet, I haven't heard his voice. He hasn't said anything. To hear he's mad is very different than seeing him mad. To see that he, you know, to hear about how he feels, and also the it's the way it's written is very authoritarian to me, like very, very Rothschild. You know what I'm saying? It's very, you know, I was talking to Tani, and she was like, it sounds British. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and, you know, you could also see what someone thinks about themselves when they're accused of stuff like, how dare thou ever accuse thou of, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, like it kind of, you know, but that's always the way he's rapped. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this ain't no record though. This ain't no song. This is real life now. And I also look at like a lot of the people that have gone against me. Again, I've read the 48 Laws of Power, and the only reason why is so that I know what people are using. To me, it's a funky book, and it's a way to me to cheat. But there was no social media when the 48 Laws of Power was written. So you might have to change that shit up. Like all of this, don't speak and be heard about and just appear every now and again. That shit there, there was no internet. You know what I'm saying? It was different. There was no algorithms back then. So the world has changed significantly, and I'm telling these people that cheat just so they can make the game a little better. I'd probably have to update that 48 Laws of Power thing. You have to, you know, you have to now factor that there's an internet and that the common person actually can be heard repetitively. over and over again till it becomes an algorithm, you know? So I had forgot my point with the lawyer and the fact that he can pay for his own lawsuits because he's doing it himself. But I just saw that, they just had put a lawsuit on Rock Nation. And the stuff that they were accusing them of is, if they're guilty of that, that's not going to be a good look. But, again, my experience with them is they do go hard. My question is, why are they going so hard? Pause. You know what I'm saying? It's just, again, I would just let this thing play out in court. But it is what it is. And last week I couldn't remember what I had done 2000 because I hadn't tried but so much. But, people definitely made sure I knew where I was at. And then I remembered it triggered memories. I was with Aaliyah. And I remember, I think that year we decided we went to the awards and then we broke right out. We didn't want to be around nobody. So I really have, I know where I was at. You know what I'm saying? And again, I think it's easy for someone to just say where they were at, like where you were actually at after the, and if you weren't around homeboy, you should be good. It should be fairly simple. There is no gray areas, there's the truth. You know what I'm saying, period. But again, these two lawyers are gonna be banging out. But the difference is gonna be every time one homeboy's lawyer works, homeboy gotta pay. When this lawyer does his thing, he's paying himself. And he seems like I said, he's with the shits. So for every action, I know there's going to be a reaction. This is like a Jake Paul fight. Regardless of whether they're good fighters or not, you're still going to watch. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be watching this fight, and I'm really curious to see which lawyers play the best chess. But at this point, it's chess. And as of right now, it seems like a lot of things are being played out in the public. So that just means that's all everyone cares about is public perception. And the question then would be, why are you so worried about the public? Like, since when do you care about what people think? If you know the truth, and I know me, like if someone says some bullshit and I know the truth, I'm like, yo, I'm speaking on it, And, if it's affecting my life financially, if it's fucking with my corporate sponsorship, then I know that I have a lawsuit. So I'll get that right back. Not a problem. So we'll see what happens. But I wanted to, that was my take on it. You know what I'm saying? I don't got a dog in this fight. I see my name come up a lot, my pictures and shit, especially when it comes to Aaliyah and all that. And it does trigger a lot of bullshit memories and all that. But, I'm focused on what I'm doing. But when I take the time to analyze certain things, this is what I think. I see 50's on the press run, and he's relentless. So, again, because he's called my name, even though he said my name on, but either way, I'm still paying attention now. Wait, hold on. Somebody, you got my phone? On the show real quick. So I get FaceTimes from principals. This is I don't want to say Dr. Ock. It's Principal Ock. We call him Air Ock. Are you a doctor yet?
No, I'm not a doctor.
Are you not trying?
I'm trying to get honorary doctor.
Oh, like me, right? That's a little side. So big shout out West Side High in Newark, and would y'all just win a championship or something?
No, we gearing up. The season just started, Dan.
The season just started. But y'all won. How y'all did last year?
Nah, we didn't do too good. The year before that, we rocked out.
Oh, the year before that?
Yeah.
Reading scores is up. How about that? Uniforms are fly.
Yes, it is.
How about that?
Math scores.
That's all that counts are the reading scores and the math scores. But
Yes, sir.
I'm sure we have to talk about something offline. So I was taping, but I wanted to give everybody, I'm taping. But I wanted people to know that actually the people I speak to are principals, and my daily day is that's who my peer circle is. So I'm no disrespect, principal.
Get back to the money.
But you know what I was calling about.
I know. I
Gosh, all right, got the people in China on my head, but all right, we talk.
Salute.
All right. So anyway, I saw him on the press run, and I saw that his 50 action launched on Roku, and it appeared to be a fast channel, and he's promoting it. So I guess what I'm saying is I distribute fast channels on American New, and it would be cool if I could put Paul's 50 action on American New. You could do that if you could. But I within my network, where I play my original content and original programming, I also distribute other fast channels. So I'm basically using myself or my network, America New, as an example of what we do for other networks. It's the in-house channel, but we distribute other channels, other fast channels. So in essence, we are a Roku. We have the technology of Roku, and we've hit 100,000, and I'm hyped. Because I remember when we were on our first 2,000 and how far away we thought that 100,000 would be and how fast it happened. And the fact that there's just, since I've even started to launch this competition that never really happened, I still haven't seen anybody launch any networks, So, and not only did I get to 100,000, Honor Up played on BET and the Prince of Detroit. Last week I said it was January 11th. The date's been changed to January 10th. So instead of Saturday, it's Friday. And this last week we had to make some adjustments, some artistic things, make it a little different, some musical things, and we will have to, hand it in. And we just finished doing all of that. So thank you, Nicolette, for all your help and everyone else, the whole team. But doing things at the level of BET definitely changes the game. Being able to be and have your art in front of 70 million homes, for someone that makes movies, they understand how real that is. And to be able to watch your movie like before, because you watched the movie before, and I'm seeing a Kevin Hart movie, a dude I put on, or Phase on Love, who's in, like, I'm seeing the movies, and then our movies are playing, and the fact that I just feel like, them with those bigger budgets, I feel like my movies look as good or not a lot better. I'm able to compare the movies on the platform at a professional level. They're both playing. We could compare ratings. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in the game. And I don't know anyone that's got in this professional game independently like this. I just don't know anyone that's done that. And I'm going to celebrate it. I don't care if nobody else does. I know what I just did. I know that I took a movie that I had no script for, put up my own money, and shot it based on me just being inspired by my core memories, and turned it into something that went theatrical and now is on BET, and also put it on my own streaming service. The completion of the dream would be to make a lot of money now. But what happens, again, when the money comes in, that goes into making more content, to growing the company. That becomes money for growth. So even if you see a lot of bread going and all, I'm not going to hold you, I'm not going to stunt, I'm not going to front. As long as I have to pay for shit, as long as no one else is paying for my shit, I'm going to always be broke. And, you could call it broke, or I'm going to always have to re-up. I'm always going to have to re-up. So if you're not a hustler and so like, broke is when you just have no motion, right? And you have nothing that you can liquidate. That's broke. But if you have cash flow, but you're not looking at money, and, whenever money comes, you have to put it right back into a bill, right back into growth, right back into making something. It means you don't have money to do personal things, but there is, cash flow. And I don't want to look at money. I just want to always make sure that something's always making me money. I just want residual income, and I'm going to keep hammering down on that. Residual income. Lesson of the day. Residual income. What is residual income in layman's terms? To me, residual income is when you can sit by your pool and, get a check for something that you did 20 years ago. So if you're 50 and you did something when you were 30 or 20, and you haven't had to do anything else, or you haven't had to do anything as relates to that project, and all of a sudden some money comes in, that's residual income. So I'm thinking about, like, I don't want to always have to earn, because when you make a lot of money, you spend a lot of money. Then you got to make a lot more money. And that means you always out there tap dancing. I would like to be able to sit down at some point, pause, and just have money just come in. But the problem is the people I was working with, it would not be fair for me to own their master, their residual income. I'm not trying to take the artists I work with residual income. Now, there's other people that do that, but I just won't. So I wouldn't take Kanye's masters. I couldn't take Jay-Z's masters. I couldn't take Cameron's masters. I wouldn't do that. Most artists, if they get to a certain level, they get their masters back. They just have to still distribute them through that major. But until I make my own, I can't expect it to pay me later. And that's why artists always resent the people that exploit them. Because they're like, yo, you're taking money out of my grandkids' pocket and you're not doing anything. You didn't do anything. So that's why, my family had to create, like, I wanted stuff created by my family. So, with Raquel's book, with Dusko Goes to Space, the Dusko Goes to franchise. The Dusko right now goes to space book, coloring book. Dusko Goes to Sea book, coloring book. There's a Dusko Goes to Space album, a Dusko Goes to Space movie, a Dusko Goes to Space play. We got Dusko Goes to Space pajamas. There's going to be book bags. There's going to be toys. Where's the pajamas? There's going to be games. There's going to be so much Dusko Goes to franchise about my son made by his mother that nobody could be entitled to say that they deserve any of this money. But it takes work. You got to do it. You got to be creative. If you don't want to work so hard when you're older, you got to work really hard now. Here you go, Rock. Oh, this is materials. Is this sweat material? Did he try this on? Here you go, Rock. Did you try this on? No? And we're about, from the movie, I feel like, what we at, Josh? Like, we got like 6 videos?
6 music videos done.
6 music videos done, but it's going to be my version of A Kid Streets is Watching. So the musical version of the book first, then the movie, and of course the album, and you already have the book, and then the animated, and blah, blah, blah. Then the toys, then the tour, then the clothes, then the games, the video games. There's so many legs to this, And this is about Dusko as a like 4 to, what age is it, Rock? Like 4 to 6? 4 to 7? How old is he in this?
In the movie?
In the book, yeah.
He's like
10, 8?
Ideally, he's like an 8-year-old.
An 8-year-old? So like 8 to 10, and then he has to become a teenager. And that's a whole nother, it's just so much to do.
So the book is geared towards 2 to 12-year-olds.
The book is geared toward 2 to 12-year-olds. And I just got back from Christmas, the Christmas show at my son's school. We had such a good time. Rocky lives for this. It really makes her happy. Dusko had a fever. We all were sick the week. And like yesterday was like, we had to get him, because he was missing all the Christmas festivities just the week before Christmas. And then you pay for everything. And you know what I'm saying? You like, he gonna miss all this that we paid for. So he got better. He rallied. Fever gone. And, he got his little outfit. He had the Dickies paws with the Vans that his sister bought for him, and his Christmas tie and his shirt. And I'm like, yo, that's my outfit right there. That's how I like to dress. And then I'm looking at him like, he might do a little better than me. And then he had the bucket with the DDs. And then, we all went to the school. He had his Ray-Bans on, his sunglasses, and his accessories mean a lot to him. For real. Like, he'll be mad. He'll be wanting us to turn around if he forgets his glasses. And then, it was just so much fun watching him, having a family and having consistency. It's hard to have consistency when you're in the music business or the entertainment business because you're at the call of your fans or the money, And I honestly made a choice to make my family my business so I didn't miss these moments. I didn't want these moments to be like irregular. But what I do is I celebrate every W because we fought hard for this child, to have this child. So we celebrate every single moment with him. Even the fact that while he was sick, I was there to take care of him with his moms. Like, you know, I'm just so happy I finally got to get this experience, and all my kids are coming up for Christmas. And I'm really looking forward to that because I haven't had them all in one house at one time ever, especially since baby Dusko was born. But before that, like 10 years. Family is everything, bro. Love is the currency. You know, I had jury duty this week. And it was funny because people were calling me and they were like, you know, I'm at jury duty. Like, what are you doing at jury duty? Like, can't you get out of that? And I'm like, you know, it's funny. I have been able to get out of it the majority of my life. But this year, I wanted to go. I wanted to see it. Yeah, I would have definitely made a bigger deal not to go. Like I asked, like it was like, can I get out of it? And then Nike was like, I would have definitely figured it out. You know what I mean? If it was such a big deal, like I've done every other year. Like I'm like, what, you know? But I kind of wanted to just knock it out and see what it looked like. And it was like, I'm usually picking juries for trials against me. So being like, I didn't make it to this courtroom. You know, I was an extra. But if I had got that, I'd be like, well, I've been through like 10 lawsuits in the last 10 years. And I don't like lawyers, you know, and I think, you know, it's not, you know, I don't think I'm a good juror. But I did get to get it out the way, see it. And it wasn't that bad. I was out of there by 12, you know. It wasn't that bad. I had headphones. It was cool. Nobody bothered me. It was like, wow, this is cool. Nicolette pulled up. We had fun, you know.
Mask on like Ludacris?
Nah, I didn't do a mask. I don't do that. You know, I don't look at myself as famous like that. I look at myself as known. You know what I mean? Like drug dealer known. You know what I'm saying? Like known, like, you know, when you in the town, you know someone by their car and all that, and you, oh, that's the Dame nigga. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not like, I'm not in pop culture like that. Like unless like it's a lawsuit or something negative or something, you're not gonna like see me on the Daily Mail or see me on Entertainment Tonight unless it's like an Aaliyah thing or a Jay thing. But I don't think pop culture wise, I don't look at myself that famous. Neighborhood wise, I'm known. Like I feel like I'm known. But you know, I don't know. Maybe that's me being over humble or whatever. But I haven't known any other life. You know, I put my first record out when I was like 18. So that's the only life I know. But I don't know. I've never liked having to walk into some place with 8 people. Like I got big cousins, pause. Like my cousins are big, right? And I remember we were at a party, a club in Harlem, and my cousins were around, and they came through, and they just looked like bodyguards. And people were like, "Yo, you got bodyguards?" Like, no, bro, those are my cousins. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I did feel funny. People thinking that I feel uncomfortable with big men walking around me like that. Pause. And I think about people that have big men around their women all day. I wouldn't do that one either. Like I would hate to have like, cause your bodyguard's supposed to be masculine, alpha, ready to kick some ass. You know, that means if they see something they want, it's going to be hard not to like it. And you know, if a girl likes if any girl that wants to be around me likes a masculine man, I'm not bringing more masculine men around my woman, and my woman is fine. So I don't want no big ass dude that I probably can't beat that's better than me with a gun right next to my girl every day. Hell no. You know, that's why chefs became problematic. They was in my kitchen all day. They become a part of your family. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't like the food, they get mad. Like it'd be like, I'm not doing that all day. For us, the less people in the house, the better. We just want family, you know? And, you know, it's made it because Rocky really established that and made that law. But then sometimes she ends up doing a little more work than she wants to. And I'd be like, you know, then it turns into something else, you know? But in this moment, we ain't got it to be doing all that right now. It's not the time. It's re-up time, you know? It's the time to grind, you know, get everything that we invested in to realize itself, to monetize, and to make sure that everybody that we owe is paid and then we can move on with our life. But we got to generate to do that. And no one's going to give you that kind of bread. You got to make it. And also, we want to make sure that our kids never have to do anything they don't want to do. They will work, but it'll be the work they want to do. It'll be their dreams. That's why it's really important to me that my son has a passion. I couldn't believe that he found one so early. He loves golf. If he loves golf so much that he plays it so much that becomes the best at it and gets paid the most for it, he's won. He beat the game. He gets to make money playing golf at the country club. People pay for that. If that's what he wants, but I want to be able to provide that to make sure that he can do what he wants. But if he wants to run a television network, he could do that too. If he wants to run a fashion network, he could do that too. If he wants to run a curriculum or, a publishing company that makes books, he could do that too. If he wants to direct a movie, he can do that. If he wants to make an album, he can do that. Whatever inspires him, I want to be able to make sure that I can practice nepotism for him. Yeah, I can't wait to practice nepotism. Like one of the main reasons why I invested all my money I had at the time, it was like $8 million into Rachel Roy, is because I knew that my beautiful daughters would want to be models, and I wanted them to be able to model for their own mother's company. If they want to be in fashion, then they got a company to run, That's the reason why, and it's not over. It's just I have to have the network right, and we're working on having the football league. But my son likes to play football. Being able, because, I am part of an arena football team. Me being able to tell my son, like, yo, you want to play football? Because, he was in college, hurt himself. Like, we could play over here if you feel like, or you could coach. What do you want to do? You want to practice with him? All those are just important. And for me, I'm not comparing myself to the person that owns Dallas Cowboys. I'm just comparing myself to me. For me, that's some Big Willie shit. I like to impress me. I'm not trying to impress y'all. I'm trying to impress me. And different things, like the things that impress most people don't impress me. So for me to impress myself, think about me trying to impress Dame Dash. Can you imagine trying to impress Dame Dash every day? That's my life. I'm always trying to stun on Dame Dash. Pause. I'm always trying to be like, nigga, I got a clothing line. I got a television network. We got a football team. We made an oil company. I'm fronting on you. And I got to be able to front on myself. But I did that too. I ain't trying to front on y'all. It wouldn't even be fair. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone could keep up with me. It's not about the bread. I'd be like, yo, let me see you direct a movie, design a clothing line. I want to see you make an album. I want to see you write a book. I want to see you run a company from being a CEO, a chairman, but I also want to see you be the artist and the creative as well. And also deal with lawsuits and be a father, and also do it all in public. Do it since you were 19. You're 53 now. I want to see somebody. I'm not even going to put that challenge on somebody. It would kill them to try to keep up with me. Make sure you can dance. Make sure you're funny. Make sure you can fight. I'm not waiting for somebody, again, to give me affirmation to tell me how great I am. If I didn't realize how great I was, I'd be depressed. For me to do all these things and no one to recognize it would make the average person depressed. But I recognize it. I celebrate it. I enjoy it. I apply it. And I made it a lifestyle. And that's what I suggest everybody do. Find what you love and become a superhero about it. Find passion. Find something that inspires you. You should do it so much because you love it that you should be the best at it and you should be able to make money from it. And it shouldn't be about anybody getting you where you got to go. You can get yourself where you got to go. It's too humbling to ask people. I don't want a favor because then I owe a favor. I don't mind if some money, I can just pay your money back and we good. But favors, it's like, that sometimes becomes things that, again, you're morally against. You know what I'm saying? Period. Now, I'm not going to act like these drones, or I'm not even calling them drones. They call them drones. They are, to me, UFOs or UAE. Like, I don't know what them shits is. Matter of fact, I'm going to just call them, I don't know what them shits is. Whatever them, I don't know what them shits is, I need to know what they are. But I can't see that things are in our airspace and we can't send something up there to just say, what up? Like, just to, like, send a drone to the drone. Put a drone on the drone and follow. I just don't see how, if someone could, like, if they could be over airports or whatever it is, how we're not like blowing them shits out towards the sky, just in case. Like at least one, boom. Like, all right, that was one. Y'all shouldn't have been doing this in the first place. I don't think anybody would be mad. Like, I don't know what kind of treaty has been made where people could fly around, but it does appear that when, like, the president-elect says, oh, the government knows what it is. And I'm not going there in this weekend. Like, I'm not going to Westminster, whatever he was saying. I was like, if they know what it is and someone's going to get hurt, that's fucked up. So now I'm like, that can't happen unless it's going to be real bad. If they're aliens and the aliens made some treaty like, yo, we're going to just be checking things. And by the way, why, when this is happening, I have a line out called Anunnaki, CEO Anunnaki. And now they're coming out the sky. Whether they are from space or government, whatever it is, for some reason, if you look at the algorithm, they calling them shit UFOs. A lot of people, they saying they're going in the ocean. They saying it's the Anunnakis. So, of course, when they get here, if they do get here, they're going to be, oh, there's another Anunnaki. Right? Yeah, you know what I mean? That's how I don't know how I always am just right on the pulse of everything. I don't know how it happens. It's a blind thing, and it's annoying. I hate to be ahead of the game unconsciously. And be like, again? Why is it like this? And then if I don't capitalize it right, I feel like I'm behind. But I got so much other shit to do. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But I do want to know what those things are quickly. And these are just such interesting times. These are the most interesting times. This shit is like we live in a movie. And in this movie, if I'm going to be in it, if we in a movie, you got to be fly in the movie. And for me, fly, for my version of fly, is when you make your own clothes. You just can't never knock somebody that's making their own clothes. That's priceless. So what I take pride in is that most of the time that you see me, I'm wearing something that I made. You know what I'm saying? Or, designed. And these glasses, these CEO glasses, they're for sale. They look fly. If you're watching it, looking at it right now, I like those glasses. You could go to the shop and you could buy them. If you like this jacket, this sweatsuit. Now, Big Face Gary was like, yo, Dame, I think the bottoms is too wide. Nah, B. I'm doing the wide sweats. I like wide. I don't like the tight ankle sweats no more. That's not what we're doing. We ain't doing that. So, we got these are good for like an airport fit, you know what I mean? Shit like that. Anunnaki, boom, boom. I'm actually going to put the planets on the sleeves too, by the way. These are samples. But you could buy it. You could buy this, the pause button. You don't feel like saying it, just have it with you. Boom, bang, order that. And the CEO, if you sometimes question your boss and your CEO-ness, don't disrespect me and say I do everything everybody else does, and I put up my own money. Let that get you hype, because it's hard to put up your own money. But for me, it's not. I don't see any other way because I don't like to be told what to do when it comes to me being creative. I don't like having somebody, I just can't call somebody my boss. It's hard. Pause. You're nothing but a supervisor. It's not yours. So if you're telling people what to do and it's something and it's not yours, you can't say you the boss. You got to say you the supervisor. You're supervising somebody else's stuff. It's been so many experiences I've had, especially in the music business. 100% why I couldn't be in the music business anymore was because people that didn't own anything, that didn't put up $1, were trying to tell me confidently what to do, as if I was equal to them. And the reason why I wasn't equal is because we owned what we were fighting for. We had put up the money for it. We had the right to fight this hard because it was ours. This is our child. You can't, if I'm watching someone else's child, I can't punish that child. I can't chastise that child. It's not my child. I can't tell the parents what to do with their child. Can you imagine? Like a teacher could give you advice, but they can't be like, yo, you do this, you do that. When he gets home, he goes to bed. And that's what your idea is. It's your child. It's something that you love. It's something that came from your heart. for money, you're going to sell your idea, something you love, something that came from your heart that inspired you to somebody else, and because that's the only way it could get raised. Parents, find a way to raise their children. Find a way to raise your business. Keep that yours. Make it that personal. If you're a founder, see, there's different kinds of entrepreneurs. There's entrepreneurs that like to invest in other people's companies, acquire other people's companies, raise money, and then grow it. But I'm not that kind of entrepreneur. I like to make my ideas, things I love, things that no one has ever done or seen, make it into something that's tangible, a reality, and then go sell it and let other people benefit from what I just made, from my point of view. Like education, curriculum, like books, like clothes, like content, like music. So, rock and roll, there probably isn't even a market for rock and roll like that no more other than touring. It's not a big screaming thing, but I'm not, if I'm with corporate, I got to make, they're going to tell me, go get some drill, go get some kids killing other kids from your culture. Don't make rock and roll. If you're going to make rock and roll, it should be some negative shit. It shouldn't be about, making yourself better and understanding how to dream and turning it into a reality. And make sure you don't show anybody how to do it on their own. That's what they would say. But, now that I'm independent, I can make the projects that I want, like this one I just did with Freeway. The Freeway, 365. And, it's done. The videos are done. We're editing. If Josh could, if we could get him to make the, at least one, but we'll be putting that out and, it's, and then we'll be touring it and doing all those things. That'll be the music vertical. So I'm always reminding you of these different verticals that we're stimulating. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted you to see that they're actively happening. So you see, America knew 100,000 downloads. We're in the game. We legit. That's legit. Those are good numbers. We 6 digits. We did that independent. Show me somebody with a fund that did that. So show me somebody that started with some bread. So this is the work. This is where the money went. Now I got to re-up. If I saw everything on that network, I'm back on. That's how much I believe in myself. That's how much you got to believe in yourself. But then now it's the fashion vertical. You watching it. Here it is. CEO Anunnaki with Afroletics. You see it. It's right here. I talked about it. Now you see it. You saw the jacket last week and the shorts. You see it. I talk about the book vertical, and you see it. We have the books. The Dusko Goes to Space. We have the album that I've been speaking about. It's there. These are all tangible things, all happening. These are different dimensions happening at one time. And then you see that the movies that I've directed, and everyone says, "Oh, nobody sees them." They haven't seen them yet. Y'all just know about them because I've been telling you about them. If you never knew about it, if you don't know me or follow me, this is all brand new to you. So Honor Up premiered on BET last week or the week before. And, The Prince of Detroit is going to be on BET and more surprises. That's another vertical. That's linear television. That's the studio actually making movies. Me actually being a director at a professional level. A director. Forget the businessman. Look at me creative. This album that's coming out, I'm on that album. That's my band. And I dare any rock band to come against us. Pause. Any rock band to open versus, we will get busy. I have confidence in it. Our show is immaculate. I got the best, Tash is the best guitar player breathing, living right now. I put Tash up against everybody, anybody. He's harmonizing with the guitar with Slash from Guns N' Roses. Come on. Like, really think about that. That's real. If you know anything about live instrumentation and rock and roll or have any respect for the art. And then I came up into Polk County, right? And really worked with the talent out here. So we got albums. I got albums coming out with Micah Da Vinci. He plays 7 instruments. And we got, kids from Canada, Christian Bay, got an album with him. Booster. Booster's all over the Prince of Detroit. He's from Detroit. So, Booster from Detroit. Kitty Red from Indianapolis. All different places. This is what we doing. This is a whole nother artists that you may have not heard of, but that inspired me, and I decided to just make records with them. I did that in my peripheral vision. But all that's coming through. A kids album, made a kids album with all of them. You know what I'm saying? And there's more artists, I just can't say them all. If I forgot you, it was my bad. And then we went on tour, went all around the country, did all that. Nobody's talking about it. So why wouldn't I talk about it? Why wouldn't I make a network and put it on my network? Because you can see everything I just said on Blue Rock, the Blue Rock Fast channel on America New. And I'm proud of these things. These are verticals that are being stimulated independently. This is what broke looks like. This is my broke. This is before I re-up. It don't mean I'm not going to re-up. And anybody that cares, anyone that believes in independence, just support. If y'all think I'm fucked up, just support. And again, the support is free. All you got to do is download and watch. I made it free. But we also sell vitamins. We sell sunglasses. Now, I got sent the clip. This dude, Vlad, is hilarious, bro. It's like an obsession. It's making me uncomfortable. It's like ill. Like they sent me a clip of him interviewing academics, of course, asking about my pockets. And academics like, yo, he never went bankrupt. So I saw that clip and I was like, oh, that's cool. I like that. I respected academics for that. I appreciate that answer. Because it's true. Through all of it, I don't know why the world wants to see it so bad, but it happens, Trump's been bankrupt a couple of times. Then I saw another clip, and they was really trying to he has America New, and there's no engagement. Like really, really trying to. What does he make money from? Like none of your business what I make money from. You shouldn't know what I make money from. I don't make money. All right, you're a cop, but now, or at least that's alleged. I feel like the questions you ask are questions that you ask on behalf of the police. And I think you know better than to ask certain questions. But I don't know why you keep asking questions about me. So I don't like it because I know that the feds are always watching, and I'm like, am I the topic of discussion? And if so, why? Leave me the fuck alone. I'm just over here being a family man. Are you butthurt because, I embarrassed you at your house or whatever it was, or because you asked me to say some shit about Jay-Z and I said no? So understand what I get from guys like this. If I don't give you an interview about something stupid that happened to Jay-Z, you're going to try to fuck with me for the 10, 15 years. It's just obsession. And now, it's starting to look gay. Like a dude obsessed with another dude for so long, for no reason, there's no financial benefit, unless somebody's sending you to do it, is gay. Worrying about somebody's, and there's nothing wrong with being gay. I think it's wrong to not tell people that you are if you are. But if you're acting gay, based on hip hop lying a lot about their masculinity, and pretending, because there's things I found out that I had no idea about and that people weren't volunteering. I really don't want to know. But when you do certain things a certain way for a certain amount of times, it's gay. Period. And I just want people to know, like men, you do not worry about dudes' pockets no matter what. You don't say, where is he making his money, and look and scrutinize it, have a conversation and an interview about it. That's the most unmasculine thing in the world. So damn, Vlad, go ahead, get out of here, bro. Leave me alone. I'm not even thinking about you. Pause at all. Zero. Why you keep asking other people from my culture about me so they could say something bad and then me and them could get into a problem? You don't think we know that trick? And, I've seen people deflect that trick. Like, damn, Tony Yayo held me down. Pause. Shout out to him. Like, bro, you just don't like him. Get out of here. You gonna make me talk about a man that I don't really know so well for no reason. Ask questions about his personal business so I could say something so he could get mad at you and y'all could start beefing. I'm not beefing with nobody, bro. I'm not doing that. I don't need the distractions. You're not gonna bait me into crashing out. It's not gonna happen. And I see that's your business model, trying to make my culture fight each other. And you bait them with money now. See, before you wasn't paying them. Now you paying people, allegedly. And it's hard to someone that needs the bread to say no to just do an interview. So you're taking advantage. And you're putting people in front of a camera that aren't usually in front of cameras, and you asking them questions, man. And you're doing it on purpose. But regardless, like you want to do that, do it. I think it's whack. But I don't know why your business model is asking people questions about me. but it doesn't really make me mad. It makes me have a reason to call you out. And maybe that's why you're doing it. But I'll call you out, but I ain't crashing out. Don't worry about it. So, hopefully you're not talking about me in front of your girl because it's going to make her like me. The more you talk about me in front of people, the more it invokes some sort of like why. It puts a vision of me in their brain. So this has been a thing, a curse. All dudes that don't want me to look cool in front of their girls, they start talking bad about me in front of their girls. Their girls end up telling me all the time. And the reason why they end up over here in the first place is because you was talking about me so much. Relax. I'm not thinking about your girl. I remember when I had to go in the gym because Berto got me mad. And I had to go in there and pepper him up. Y'all saw the overhand right, almost knocked him out and shit. I'm not a professional, whatever. But Rocky left with his girl's number that day. My girl will take your girl, all right? And she's not even like that. So leave me alone. Can we do the question of the day?
Yes.
Rocky said, oh my God. I'm like, who is that? I'm for real. I'm like, where's she? Yo, you remember she was at the fight? I said, yo, you took Berto's girl. Berto won't even let Rocky near his wife now. He's sick.
Okay. What's your favorite gangster movie of all time?
Wow, my favorite gangster movie of all time. Who asked that question?
That is Stephen D02.
It's hard, pause, to have one. It's like asking me what my favorite record of all time is, but always The Godfather, Scarface, Goodfellas, Casino, Usual Suspects, Paid in Full, Honor Up. Oh yeah, I like Revolver. I like the one where what's his name plays the twins, the Craze. What's the name of that one? I like Snatch. I like Stop, Lock, and Load. That was a British movie by Guy Ritchie. And I've definitely jacked a lot of Paul's things that he's done in movies. When I was younger, I used to look at his movies for inspiration. I still kind of do. And Peaky Blinders for TV shows. Irishman was good. They're all up there. I love a good gangster flick, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. And that's why I'm good at making them. And the way I like to look at them is the way I make them. That's why my shit is heavy with the narration, is because that's how Casino and Goodfellas is. And those movies are hard. I like that question.
Snow Darren 007 says, Cousin Damon, are you going to make Honor Up Part 2?
Yeah. Nicolette and I, that's why I was a lush for 2 weeks. Stood up all night drinking, and we wrote about 140 pages. So it's either 2 movies, Honor Up 2 and Part 3, or it's going to be a television series. So I'm going to go through the script one more time. There's some things I want to add, and then we're going to break it down. We know most of the characters, and then we'll figure out the budget for it, and then we'll shoot it. With AI, you could do so many things. Like, what was that new AI that we just that did the thing with Baby Dusko? Sora. Check Sora. Sora is incredible. I'm giving y'all my secrets because I want y'all to get ahead of the game. But it was like you could tell the story, and it'll give you damn near. It's like it doesn't even. It's like with real people, but it's moving. It's like not even animated. It's weird, So now your storyboards can move. Basically, you could shoot the movie with AI before you shoot the movie. You know what I mean? It's like, and then it also gives you ideas on how to shoot. So, but also it can break down the script for you. So like you could ask it like, yo, with this script, I like to shoot 10 pages a day. That's like amazing. Don't try to do, Tyler Perry could probably do that, but I don't think nobody else, unless you really prepare and block. So I'd be like, I want 10 pages a day, 12 hours a day, 15 minutes in between shots, and an hour for lunch. Break that down. I want to be in one location, and it could break it down for me like that. And then I give me a shot list. They'll give me a shot list, and then I'll say how much I'm gonna pay everybody. But you got to know everybody that's on the set. So I'm gonna pay everybody this much on the set, and then I'm gonna pay this much for locations. I'm gonna pay this much for clothes because I'm gonna make it. The clothes. I'm gonna pay this much for music. You know, you break down everything that you can know that, and then also now, especially now that we're working with BET, whatever their deliverables are for like Paramount and all that, you always want to make sure. And this is another lesson about making movies, I guess. Lesson 2, whatever. You want to make sure that you have all the deliverables. So like when I handed in Honor Up to Lionsgate, it was like 60 pages of, they had to show that everybody got paid and, everything is, it's a lot of paperwork. So you got to also put a budget together for someone to do that paperwork for deliverables, and then I like to have an editor on set and see, now I'm really into it. Like we talking, but like I'm really thinking about what I need to do, but that's my process. And if you're a director or a filmmaker, before to do all these things, to write the script, to get storyboards, to break down the script, it would cost tens of thousands of dollars. If from a major, it would cost hundreds of thousands to even get to the point to where I'm even talking about right now, even to get the script written, to get the storyboards, So now that you have these resources, you can do a lot more, a lot faster, a lot cheaper if you know how to interact with it. And that's why I suggest that, because of how rapidly, there's motherfucking spaceships now, right? And if you notice, I've been telling everybody space travel should be in the curriculum. I've been saying it. You know what I'm saying? And also, what the fuck is going on with LeBron? Like, all of this, did he come back or did he not? I don't understand. He just quit basketball? Now, that's where this bullshit's got to stop, right? There's all these gray areas, rumors floating in the air, and then people just suddenly disappear and don't say anything. And that's going to invoke people talking. Like, I'm like, that's LeBron. Like, I can't even fathom basketball without him. If there is going to be, I'm looking like there got to be a tour. He just had his son up in there. Pause. Like, what is going on? And how could you not ask that? How could you not think things and everyone's quiet? And then it was like the day after that, wrestler or the UFC fighter, Kobe, whatever, said that slick shit about him. And the next day he says, I'm taking an indefinite leave, and everyone's acting like they're unbothered. This unbothered thing, man. Now, that's not gossip. When someone does so much to make sure everybody sees them every single day, when you make an effort to have your good business out every day, you can't think that people aren't going to be just as interested, if not more, in your bad business or your business. You've set your life up like that. You've set it up so that you are scrutinized, so people can see every W that you have, because you can't fathom taking an L. But I'm telling you, what comes with W's are L's. And they really make more money from your L when you're famous from getting W's. So sometimes they make people famous too fast just so you can see them go down. And that's why, for me, it's like, I want to be known. Enough where I ain't got to walk around with the security, but I could get in the club. You know what I'm saying? Like, without standing online. But I don't want to have to go outside and everybody rushing me in. That's a nightmare for me. I know what that's felt like. When I was in London and all that, it was crazy. It was crazy. I was like, this can't happen in America. But like for me, I'm like, I don't know. But either way, things are very interesting. Even LeBron's under fire. And there's just no answers. So it's not, I don't think it's no chatty patty shit. If the biggest basketball player of all time just quits right after he got his son put in the league, pause, and, with no explanation, that makes question. So to me, it's like whatever it is, unless she's being very strategic about a big deal or like something, something crazy, it must be really bad that he can't speak on it. Like at least say it's a foot injury or I want to take a break or maybe, I don't know, maybe I missed that memo. But I thought, I don't know, you just never know what's real or what's not real, but the shit I be hearing be making me think things, you know what I mean? So is there any other question?
Yes, there was one.
Did I just go on like a full tangent?
No, but that was good. You brought up something that.
Oh, okay. You looking good, Rob. You always look good. Oh.
Okay.
Always trying to distract me with good looks and all that, looking all fine.
This one's fine.
Looking like wine. You're
What's the
so...
most honorable business that you have worked in? Clothing, fashion, music. More next question.
No, I like that question. To be...
Oh, sorry.
Okay, Nicky Licky.
T Dapper 100 asks, what's the most honorable business that you have worked in?
In all the entertainment verticals, they've all been very dishonest at a corporate level. And fashion has the most discipline, and fashion is the most tasteful. I really, like if I'm gonna be if I was gonna come outside, it would really, I'd prefer to be in that industry because there's a lot of respect and discipline that comes with it. And those people are a little more, to me, genuine at times. But the people funding that business are still corrupt. And I went through a lot of bullshit there. And music, you already know that's terrible. Movies, terrible. I would say corporately, all those businesses corporately are terrible. The business that I feel we do with the OSG, off school grounds, as far as having curriculums and making books and going into the schools, I can't speak on the Board of Education, but I can speak on those principles, and I can speak on how it makes us feel, me and my family, to be able to go into a school, teach a kid how to dream, get his cognitive skills up in reading, and like change the trajectory of his life in a very positive way. So that's the business that's the most gratifying, I think. Selling books.
Okay. 3 questions. Okay.
Those are good questions. I like those questions.
Question or the business of the day, or
I did that already. You were daydreaming. I saw you.
yeah.
So I get it. I can see when she sees the blue screen. Can't get mad like some people. They just see the blue screen.
It's like the sound is a little different from my person.
No, that's how it really sounds. Just what you're hearing is. Anyway, so stay tuned. Hopefully I addressed everything that's been on my mind for the week, or things that I've seen that have triggered any kind of thought or wonder or concern. And, I'll be back next week. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Also, download America New. Again, thank you, everybody. We got to 100,000 and we're over it. It's a big deal. Now it's time to get to 200, but I know if I could get to 100,000, we could definitely get to 1 million. And I know that once I start to make content, I'm never going to stop, and I'm excited about preparing for all that. And just, happy to have a family, happy that everybody's healthy, and that's all that matters, and free, and just look out for all these different verticals. I'm gonna keep walking it like I talk it. Like I said, 100,000. I'm gonna start paid in full TV series, my version of that. Trust me, I started. So stay tuned. Oh yeah, you could just fly. You know what I mean? You feel me? Out of this world.
legends and you know we back out rise. Never went in, ain't gotta say we back outside. Came to make hits and today we knocked out 5. Our music give people the chills, we still rock live. Give it to them 365, 24/7. If I see y'all people creep, I'm reaching for my weapon. I can meet y'all folks around the way and it's whatever. All the AKAs and deltas, they know that we steppers. Yeah, I got some people that'll ride for me. Yeah, I got some people that'll spray for me. Yeah, I got some people that'll kill for me. Only thing I need y'all to do is pray for me. 24/7. Legends on legends. 24/7. And we cook the 15. 24/7. Legends on legends. 24/7. 365.
My family's fortune comes from the medical field.
I like your story, but tell me a little more about it.
Last year I sold the company for over 100 million.
100 million?
I'm from Detroit, man. My mom, she was my everything. A woman with a lifelong passion to provide high-quality health care to all people.
We are behind on all of our bills. The hospital is facing foreclosure.
I think we have another option.
Which is?
We can sell.
Who would be willing to purchase this hospital?
I would be.
Someday, you're gonna be an entrepreneur as well.
You're the type of boss I want to be when I grow up.
Aren't you wise?
Hey, man, huh? You bad, huh?
Every time the stock went up $1, I made 30. Let's pop some bottles, get the Cristal flowing.
I'm Sydney Barquet. I'm the director of the hospital.
Yes, you are.
What?
Welcome home, baby. Largest house in Detroit.
This is our home?
We made it, baby. I done seen many dumb mothers like yourself with education. See, but you don't have hustle muscle.
Run it back.
You want to race? You ain't gonna race for nothing. Just 10,000 with me. Quite a good.
Go!
That man don't got no money. Guns, so nobody take that money.
So would anyone else like to question my leadership?
I ain't got time to kick it. I got kids to feed. That's what happens when you come in my castle. I'm the Prince of Detroit.